7 Sport welcomes you to the Melbourne Cricket Ground for our live telecast of the Under-19s Grand Final between North Melbourne and Richmond.
Good morning everyone, Stephen Phillips and Jack Edwards at the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the first match of a packed program here on Grand Final Day. It's the Under-19 Grand Final between North Melbourne and Richmond, and Jack, the first quarter a bit slow to get going but level pegging at the break.
Yeah, it's very even at quarter time. You can't get much closer than that, can you? 3 goals to each. The goal kickers for North Melbourne being Stephen Adamo, Robert Cockett 2 and Anthony Liberatore. For Richmond, Ricky Jackson, Stephen James and 1 to John Clugg. I saw the mopper soppers working on the ground earlier. Had a lot of rain overnight, and I must advise you people, give you fair warning now, if you are coming to the MCG for today's Grand Final Day, make sure you bring some warm clothes because the south breeze is very, very cool.
We'll have more about that a little later. We'll take this break, be back with the second quarter of the North Melbourne-Richmond Under-19 Grand Final.
Westpac brings you Advantage Saver Plus, the personal banking package that gives you all the advantages of Australia's most advanced electronic banking system. Advantages like access to your money at more times and in more places, high interest on your savings, plus checks totally free of bank charges, and gives you the card. Advantage Saver Plus from Westpac, the bank.
Hey, look at this. It's the Mobile Whizzer, the new fun toy for kids 3 to 8 years of age. It assists coordination and strength of arm and chest muscles. The Mobile Whizzer can be used outdoors or indoors. It's light and maneuverable. The Mobile Whizzer is easy to assemble. Replacement parts are available and comes with a 12 months guarantee. So get a Whizzer and whiz around for years. Brought to you by Easy Tips Australia. Available from these stores.
If you took this summer's entire range of Farah coordinates and coordinated them, you'd have hundreds of different outfits. That's enough Farah coordinates for 117 barbecues, 68 days of the cricket.
In 30 seconds, there's only time to show an armful of coordinates. A Farah stockist will show you the rest.
37 parties.
Farah, clothes by us, coordination by you.
Farah coordinates are available at all fine menswear stores and selected department stores.
Snails and slugs do most damage to your garden when it's raining. So we've made new Defender, Snail and Slug Killer, rain resistant to last longer. New Defender attracts and kills snails longer, even in the rain. New rain resistant Defender, even when it's wet, they still come running.
The star of tonight's show, the king of rock and roll, the wild one, Johnny O'Keefe.
He was Australia's first and greatest rocker. He made us believe in our own homegrown talent and paved the way for an entire generation of rock artists. He was ambitious, flamboyant, innovative. He swept Australia in unprecedented frenzy. He was the wild one. On the anniversary of his death, Channel 7 salutes Johnny O'Keefe and presents for the first time on television his story, 7:30 Monday.
Ball out of bounds, Jack.
Yes, the goal kickers in the game so far. We've only just started the second term. North Melbourne 3-2-20, Richmond 3-2-20. We're a very even game. Goal kickers for North Melbourne, Stephen Adamo, Robert Cockett 2 and Liberatore for Richmond. Jackson has one kicked by Stephen James and one also by John Clugg. As North Melbourne in attack on their half-forward line. Vidovic couldn't get the tap down. Has been forced to ground. It's a pretty scrambly game of football. Normally the third 18 or the under-19s is a very open game of football, but today ground conditions are a little bit slippery. A breeze that's swirling around the MCG, and it's been rather difficult so far. But it's North Melbourne and Richmond dead level with North in attack. The ball with Liberatore, he can't get it out of the pack, gets forced out to Robert Cockett 2. He has kicked one goal, won't score from here. He's kicked it very high. Under it's Darryl Brown at North Melbourne, couldn't take the mark. Could be a free kick North's way, yes, in the back will be paid. And the player to take this free kick is Stephen Adamo, who has already kicked one goal.
Adamo should have no trouble with the distance. He's a big, strong boy. Hails from Wangaratta.
Aren't there some big, strong boys out there?
Well, Jack, I was down on the ground before, and as you were saying, the ground is very damp, but it's in tip-top condition. I think with this breeze it might dry out a little if there's no more rain. Stephen Adamo comes in, he's kicked one, the umpire runs across, he likes it, that's his second. North Melbourne 4-2-26, and they've got that 1-goal break over Richmond. We've been playing 2.5 minutes into the second quarter here, and this is the under-19 grand final.
Well, looking at the flags up there on the scoreboard, Stephen, it does appear that it's favouring the scoreboard end. That's right of your screen. Doesn't always work out that way down on the ground. There's the flags now blowing across the top of the scoreboard, but North Melbourne kicking in what appears to be against that breeze. So at the centre bounce once again, Vidovic's got it. He won't have it for too long by the look of it. He's just got it away now. North Melbourne going into attack. The hand pass came across there from Hanlon, and North now drive the ball into the forward flank, but the umpire said a free kick downfield.
Fitzpatrick got flattened, Jack, after he kicked the ball.
You can see some of those players, Stephen, starting to wear some of the turf on their Guernseys already, but we've had some very heavy rain overnight here in Melbourne, and naturally, as everyone knows, it's rained for nearly a fortnight. So
I'd rather be here than Hobart. It was snowing down there yesterday.
Well, the boys down at TVT6 know all about that.
Right up into the square. No mark. Play on, says the umpire. Tap
Hit the
through.
post.
Hits the post. I think that might have been a North Melbourne boot. That's Robert Cockatoo. And the Cockatoo brothers were part of a very big recruiting chase earlier in the year. They hail from Cairns, and North Melbourne won their signatures. Robert has been playing with North, and the other brother, I think, has been playing in the VFA.
He was over at Preston.
Yeah.
Oh, there's another chance for Richmond to bring the ball forward. It's going to be kicked up now by Grimmond, up to the half-forward line. They all fly high. The ball's going to hit the turf again. Another chance for North Melbourne to get out of it, out of defence. A chance, a hand pass comes across now to Neil Fitzpatrick. A short kick is not a good one for North Melbourne. It favours the Richmond player, and the Richmond player running away now, taking the ball is Garn. Garn gets it down further afield to Scurra. He moves into the forward line. A chance for Richmond here if they can take a mark. Oh, that was a great mark, or was it not? The umpire hasn't paid it though, and North take the pressure off.
That was John Clugg. Our Tasmanian viewers will know John. He kicked a goal very early in the piece. And the umpire coming in now, and he's paid the free kick to Gavin Bayes. Now Bayes would have to be Bernie Quinlan to put this one through.
I don't think he'd kick it from there, though. I did see a good goal kick by Liberatore from a little bit closer than this, though, Stephen.
He kicks a lovely drop punt. It won't make the distance, falls about 5 metres short, and a good mark taken by Brian Sadus. No, he's passing it back there to Lazor Vidovic. Vidovic goes wide. That's a good-looking pass too. Finds his teammate Fitzpatrick. Left footer. Straight down the ground, and another good mark taken. Ducked the head, Gerard Betts, but he had the ball. Betts. North Melbourne looking a little bit better now. A lovely looking pass, beautiful pass, and
oh, did you see
yes,
that?
I saw that. Stephen Adamo, who has kicked 2 goals. He may be a little far out to score. These swirling winds here at the MCG making things just might difficult at the moment.
Well, going by the flags on the flagpoles, I'd say he wouldn't score from here if he gets the ball up too high. Adamo has got it up fairly high. It's going into the forward pocket slightly. No mark has been taken. The Richmond defence standing firm and driven out of the back pocket up toward the half-back flank, but the mark taken by Darryl Brown of North, who goes for a short pass. There was 2 teammates there. He's found one of them, and it's been taken by Peter German. Played very well in the first quarter, but didn't use the ball that well up forward.
He's very courageous, but his kicking was indirect, wasn't it?
He got a nice shirt front too, but he seems to have recovered.
Yes, he's unfolded. Peter German puts the ball up. He's offline again. And I can see Dennis Pagan having to do a little bit of work with his kicking over the summer months if he's going to advance to senior ranks. He's 18 years of age and comes from Oak Park.
A lot of the players up there, a lot of the people up there reckon he's been a very good player and will make a senior player in time.
Good grounding today. Lazar Vidovic. Sorry, it isn't. It's Stephen Hickey.
Oh, you would have. From where we're sitting, you can hardly see the 21, but the camera brings it up rather clearly. There's 21 showing you now. Stephen Hickey. He comes from Benalla. He's only 18 years of age. Let's see how he goes here. Won't quite make the distance, or will it? The hands went up, but couldn't be any score. The Hanlon tried for snapshots, been forced through for 1 ball behind. So the North Melbourne score now being changed to show North Melbourne 4-4-28, leading Richmond 3-2-20. We've been playing 7 minutes of the second quarter in the 84 under-19s grand final. An unusual kicking style there. The ball forced right out to the half back flank for Richmond. Can't get it out yet. Vidovic got a hand pass away. It was picked up there by Thorogood, but the kick was smothered off the boot. Hand pass coming out now. Do Richmond have a chance to take the ball away here? Been taken by Skinner, but they can't do a great deal with it. The umpire said holding the ball, so North Melbourne will go back into attack. Number 24 is Darren Crocker. Darren Crocker kicking very high into the forward pocket area. No mark taken. Rovers can't get it out as yet. There was a chance there for Hanlon, but the ball's been forced along the ground. And I think we'll see a bounce taking place here. Yes, the umpire coming in to try and sort things out. There's been a couple of dust-ups here, Steve. Nothing really untoward.
I was in the rooms earlier and I heard Doug Searle talking about this to his young Richmond players. He said that there'd be plenty of pressure applied. And you and I have done this match for the past couple of years, and there's been some very heavy arguments out there.
Well, not too many heavy ones so far today, but there's plenty of time. As I said before, we've only been playing 8 minutes of the second quarter. Now, Robert Cockatoo is going to do the ruck work here in the forward pocket. I don't know whether he should have. Taken here by Peter German. He kicks that one very high. There will be a chance for Adamo if he's good enough down there, though a very hard ball to take. Been picked up and taken away by Maceman. Kick not good. Put out in the back pocket area where it's socket off the ground toward the boundary line. Now, another chance here for North Melbourne. North Melbourne are using the ball, getting the ball a lot, but not using it that well.
Bursting in towards goals, the high kick offline. Exactly as Jack said. Would have had 60% of the play in the first quarter, or even more, perhaps, and they've had about 60% in the second quarter and done nothing with it, really.
Well, a chance to get moving now through Jackson, moving the ball up to the half-back line, but the kick not a good one. I won't say blame the ground. They can't do much. I think the ground's perfect, right, for what the rain we've had, Steve. But the players, I think, a little bit unsure of their footing down there and not getting very well balanced where they're trying to get the ball moving forward.
Well, Jack, I went to sleep last night with the sound of hail and heavy rain, and to wake up this morning and see a day like this is something of a bonus. And to see the ground in this condition, the practice wicket area and the centre area, the centre square, do look as though they could be a bit of a problem later on.
Now, the centre square's been covered by the look of it, or part of it anyhow.
But I would think with the rain we've had here in the last 2 weeks, it's in an astounding shape, the ground. Ball back towards the centre. Here's the chance, a push out. Should be the advantage rule. The umpire says no. He'll take the ball back. And
it penalised Richmond a bit there.
Did they ever? And this advantage rule makes it very awkward, because that was a certain goal there.
Yes, Scurra moving the ball out to the half-back zone, and a good mark taken on that occasion by North Melbourne's Tressida. Kicks into the wing position. Peter German well in the game, playing quite well, as I said before, but not using the ball as well as he would like. Stephen Hickey of North Melbourne bringing it forward. Now Adamo, nearly a good grab, but Cockatoo pinches it off the back of the pack, and he's popped it through for his second goal.
The Nissan Grand Final Savings Marathon is on now, and the savings are unbelievable. Here's Lou.
Unbelievable's right. Nissan dealers have special offers on every model in stock. Look at these. $500 rebate on Pulsar sedans, $750 rebate on Bluebird wagons, and $1,000 rebate on Bluebird sedans. But you better hurry. These savings end with the bounce of the ball this Saturday.
Robert Cockatoo, who kicked that goal, appears to be playing it in the forward pocket and doing all the ruck work on the forward line, because Vidovic has been playing very well in the centre of the ground across the half-back line. North into attack again. Safe chest mark taken down there by the Tigers. And the mark was then taken by Michael Cumming. Cumming goes wide. He's out right on the half-back flank. As you can see there, the players really battling to find their footing. John Klug, I'd say, brought back a yard or two. A good close-up there. Family down in Tasmania. Hope they're enjoying the game. The tap down. Klug comes through. Good play. Drops it onto his right foot, round towards the wing position. Richmond away again, this time through Scurra. Gets his hand pass out. It's intercepted. Good interception there by North Melbourne. German. Another hand pass back again to Crocker. Crocker on the left foot. Looks for the pass. It's too high, too long. North's problem in this second quarter, in fact for the first half of the match, the ball taken over the boundary line, and a 15-point break to the young Roos, 11 and a half minutes into this second quarter. You're watching the Under-19 Grand Final on the 7 Network. With me in the commentary box is former North Melbourne and Victorian fullback Jack Edwards.
Oh, that was a nice piece of work once again by Peter German, getting the ball forward, and the mark has been taken only 15 to 20 metres out from goal by Stephen Adamo. So he has 2 goals to his credit, and from this distance out, I wouldn't think he would miss. He's dead in front of goal, only 15 out. there's a good, you watch this one of German, getting it forward now, and Adamo, a diving mark. You can see where he's taken the mark, only 15 out. He's popped it through for another one. So North Melbourne getting results from their better football. They've had a lot more of the play than Richmond, and now North Melbourne 6-5-41, leading Richmond 3-2-20. That's Peter German, Stephen. I reckon he must have had about, I see him in the hands of the, I thought he may be in the hands of the trainers there, but he isn't. He's had 9 kicks so far in the game, and as I said before, in the first term didn't use the ball as well as he would like, but in the second term you're seeing him playing very good football. So North Melbourne appear to have a player of the future there. Now at the centre bounce once again, Richmond trying to get the ball moving. Well, coming through was Tressiter, got a heavy knock, but eventually got the ball out of the pack. Taps it out to Vidovic. Vidovic doing very well in this game too, getting the ball out to the half-forward zone, taken away by North Melbourne player in Metcalf, who drives into the half-forward centre-half forward area. Robert Cockatoo missed that, was going to be socked off the ground. A chance for Adamo again. In the goal square he goes. The umpire said, Stephen Adamo, you have kicked your 4th goal. So he's certainly producing at full forward.
Adamo has kicked 4 goals straight. And at the other end of the ground, the highly vaunted Stephen James has kicked just 1. Kicked off the ground. You see Adamo traps the ball well, slams it through from point-blank range, and goal number 4. James at the other end, Jack, has kicked only 1 goal. He kicked 1 goal last week and had kicked 99 goals before that, so he's well and truly led the under-19 goal kicking. Well, he's been well held today.
North Melbourne leading by 27 points, nearly 14 minutes into the second quarter here in the 84 grand final of the under-19. The umpire awarding Richmond player here a free kick. The player to take the free kick is Chris Pym. Pym looking up to the half-forward zone. It's a very congested area too. Getting the ball up high. It's Vidovic in front, but spoiled by his own teammate. Tressiter, I thought, was caught. The ball hurried away from that half-back line up to North Melbourne's half-forward zone, and Robert Cockatoo flew very high, as the name would suggest, didn't bring it down. The ball hurried off the ground by Gerald Butts up to the nearly the forward pocket area for North Melbourne. There's a chance for German, just about threw that one away, but the umpire didn't penalise him.
Picked up by Brown, gets around nicely on the left foot, kicks it high. He'll be looking for Adamo again. Up over the back of the pack, spoiled. Ball on the ground, and here's the chance now for Klug. Gets the long hand pass down towards full forward. Bad play, Cockatoo slams it through. And that's his 3rd goal. Great play by Robert Cockatoo.
Well, he hit that goal.
Behind every one of these buttons is a brain, an integrated circuit. And behind every one of these integrated circuits is NEC technology. Technology that is keeping you in front.
33-point difference to the Roos. And, well, Jack, I feel that North are doing more. And I think Richmond, who finished on top of the ladder, could find themselves in a big deal of trouble unless they shake themselves out. They haven't scored for the quarter.
There's Peter German going forward again, and once again he's found the full forward in Stephen Adamo. Well, he's certainly firing at full forward. Peter German doing very well around the ground and getting that ball moving, as you see on replay. And Adamo out in front of the opposition and doing very well with 4 straight goals to his credit. He's only about 40 metres out at the most, so every chance of another goal.
German might be better kicking under pressure all the time. The last 2 passes have come under extreme pressure.
Yes, but Adamo, I think, was wise to the fact that they were coming his way and got out quickly in front of the opposition and popped it through for his 5th goal. So there's a man doing well at full forward for North Melbourne, Stephen Adamo, and saying thank you very much to the players upfield for getting the ball down to him. So that full back on Stephen Adamo not having the best of days so far. There's the lad on screen now. You watch the ball come out of the pack now. To get hurried out. It was a good hand pass coming out of the pack, taken by German, and then Adamo out in front to take a good mark. And his opponent made sure that he knew he'd had it too. That's Michael Cumming in the full-back position for Richmond.
Well, Cumming appears to be giving away a bit of height there to Adamo, although it says in the football record that they're both the same height and virtually the same weight. The Tigers forward this time. Ball falling short.
Should never drop that one.
No, he should not. If the umpire has given him the mark, or perhaps even given him the nudge in the back, it will go to Glenn Thorogood at centre-half back. And he pushed the ball up. It should have been a 1-grabber. The ball doesn't look that slippery. Thorogood goes forward. The drop punt's a poor kick. Cockatoo over the top.
Gee.
And will take the mark. Cockatoo and Adamo really on fire on the North Melbourne forward line. And young Robert Cockatoo He's 60 metres out, 70 metres out, far too far.
Oh, what a pass.
And finds Adamo again.
I tell you, this fella's having a lot of trouble coming. I think he may be lacking a little bit of pace because Adamo's getting that 1 metre break on him.
Oh,
but that was a beautiful pass. That was a magnificent pass. So we'll have to say the ground is in good condition because the way they're using the ball now, I think it is drying out as the minutes go by. But that pass coming from Robert Cockatoo was a gem. It was a real raking pass, and Adamo going for his 6th goal. A little bit further out than his other shots, though. Won't quite make the distance and drifting away toward the behind post. The umpire indicating you've missed your first one, Stephen. So
well, that's been the whole difference, Jack, in this quarter. Adamo has kicked 4 goals.
It's where he's kicked them from, too,
Sure,
Steve.
he hasn't had to kick them from far out. Either has Cockatoo. They've been well within distance. And North Melbourne looking quite the goods at the moment.
That was well played.
Out.
It was well played, though. He tried to get the ball back into play, Michael Gayfer. He couldn't do so. Then, in desperation, I think he tapped out on purpose, but the umpire didn't penalise that. They had the boundary throw-in taking place in North Melbourne's half-forward flank area. Little Liberatore under the ball, couldn't get a hand pass away. It's packing up again. The umpire still calling play on. Trying to get it out was Hogarth of Richmond, couldn't do so. Going down for North Melbourne in that encounter was Crocker, but the umpire said a bounce will take place on North Melbourne's half-forward flank. North Melbourne leading Richmond by 40 points. We've been playing 18 and a half minutes of the second term in the 84 under-19s grand final at the MCG. Another chance for North to go for, but they can't get out of the pack, and the boundary umpires indicated a boundary throw-in.
I think North have adapted to the conditions, the swirly conditions and the slipperier conditions far better than Richmond. Richmond be very disappointed after finishing the season on top and getting the week's break. Here he comes Liberatore, who kicked a lovely goal in the first quarter. Spears the ball down towards Adamo. He's pushed down. The umpire says play on. There's a scrambling match there, and the umpire will come in and bounce.
You may notice that the change has been made. They've taken coming off Adamo, and number 22 now, as Richard Choba, has gone down onto Adamo to try and stop him.
I notice he's got a little more height, much the same weight. Tap down again. Here's the chance now for the Tigers to get it away. It's taken away then. Be a free kick. It'll go Richmond's way and will be taken by Michael Cumming.
Now Cummings playing on from the half-back line, driving up toward the wing position on the members' side of the ground. Young Richmond player lost his boot there, which won't help his cause. Underneath the ball there, or the ball underneath the player for North Melbourne was Hickey, and he was penalised for holding the ball. So Scurra plays on for Richmond and drives into the half-forward zone, where the mark has been taken by Richmond's number 34, and that is Des Ryan. He hand passes, always thought of one. He drives in the half-forward zone now. Can't take the mark in there. Players go down, the umpire calls play on, eventually gets hurried out of the pack, socket off the ground, and North Melbourne playing the same game by Hickey, gets it moving forward, and here is a Tressida again, lost his footing there, tried to get a hand pass away, he got out of trouble well, got a little kick up high, but it does favour Richmond. Comes to turf now, and Richmond can take the ball away from the half-back flank, but the North Melbourne player, oh, it was a bit heavy, going in, can't get it out. What's going to happen? The umpire eventually will have to bounce. Now he allows them to get it out themselves and taken away by Hogarth, but not a good kick. Gets the ball moving out to the half-back line. That was well picked up. Hogarth again it was, and it looks like Ricky Jackson to take it away.
Tigers away. They've got the loose man here. Coming along the back flank, Skinner. Pass down forward. The kick's woeful.
Oh, bad try that.
Yes, the drop mark. Here's the chance in the goal square. Klug drops it through for his second.
Talking of tough jobs, there was this big 20-foot greenhouse, my new Mitsubishi high roof, and just me and Joe. But my Mitsubishi high roof made it a cinch.
You call that tough? I had to hurry 18 models across town to a fashion show. Luckily, my Mitsubishi low roof turns on a 10-cent piece, handles really well. All right, girls, showtime.
The new Mitsubishi Express vans, a tough act to follow.
It's another Mitsubishi.
New ball coming out on the ground now, and the scoreboard, 34 points the difference in favour of North Melbourne. 9-6 plays 4-2. John Klug bringing up his second. We've got a bit of an altercation behind play in its centre half back.
Looks like a report. There's a report there. Number 24 of Richmond, Gary Robinson, appears to have been reported, and down they go once again. Players going right, left and centre. The umpire's trying to sort all this out.
Well, it's been on the cards right since the start. We've had pushing and shoving, but really there hasn't been anything serious. The umpire has evidently taken a number.
I don't know what you call serious. You get a punch in the mouth, you don't call that serious?
No, it was mainly pushing and shoving in the first quarter, Jack.
This isn't. This has been fair dinkum. We missed the start of that, but then the umpires came from near and far. I see the goal umpire talking to North Melbourne player down there in Glen Thorogood. Number 24 of Richmond, Gary Robinson, appears to have been reported. Their field umpire turned him around and had a chat to him, took his number, and there's still a little bit of pushing and shoving going on. All players getting back to their positions, as the goal umpires are. They're going back from whence they came, and things may get sorted out again here.
The umpire in the centre, waiting until the square is cleared. Waits for that confusion to die down. 22 and a half minutes gone in this second quarter. North Melbourne with a 34-point break. Overcast, cold conditions in Melbourne for the first match on a packed calendar with grand final day events here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Well, we go back to the middle once again. The bounce taking place for North Melbourne. It's Vidovic opposing Michael Garn. Garn getting the ball but can't take it away. It's been hurried out of the pack and kicked by Hogarth, but the umpire said a free kick against Garn. Oh, look at the size of Garn. He's big, all right.
His father played for Richmond. In fact, I think Graham Garn might have even worn the same number.
Well,
the umpire's giving him a 15-metre penalty, and I think that might be liberatory with the ball in the centre of the ground. With the aid of a 15-metre penalty, North have the chance to answer. Left footer, is it? Yes, left footer.
Good
looking
kick.
for Adamo, two, or Cockatoo in front. One in front, one behind. Off the boot. Go out wide. Well trapped down here by North Melbourne. Punched forward then by Crocker. Crocker has the chance to follow up. He'll get boot to ball pretty quickly. Sees the short pass. It's intercepted by Garn. Garn back towards the wing position. Segler gets the hand pass across. Another hand pass under pressure to Fitzpatrick. The umpire says free kick. He holds up play, and he's going to report another player, and that player will be Robert Skinner.
Well, there's one thing they'll do here, Stephen. They'll bring themselves undone. They'll lose their concentration. I'm talking about the Richmond players at this stage of the game. There was no need for that, of course, and the umpires, that's why he's reporting him, Robert Skinner being reported.
For striking Fitzpatrick, I would believe. So Fitzpatrick, unfortunately, Jack, with the two-umpire system, Fitzpatrick had been flattened. The umpire had the chance to come in and take his number. The North Melbourne players should have had the advantage rule in because they were running down towards goal.
I don't think they've paid the advantage rule once today, have they?
No, I don't think so. Fitzpatrick on the wing, though. He'll go for his two key forwards. He's looking for Cockatoo on this occasion.
Yes.
Cockatoo, and it's a beautiful mark too. Isn't he playing well? Robert Cockatoo.
Hasn't got a future. And Robert Cockatoo is only 17, as we said before. Oh, sorry.
Yes, he's 17. He comes down from City United in Cairns, came down with his brother, and he's a big, tall boy, 193 centimetres tall, and he's kicked 3 goals already.
Well, can he kick this one? He's out a little bit further than the others. So Cockatoo now, see how good he is. Can't quite make the distance, really. He's off target, comes to turf, picked up by Adamo. He snaps back over his head. What's he done? I think he's popped it through.
When you're going about your business,
Would you like a beer, mate? Oh, no, Bernard. Hi, George.
the last thing you want is people who aren't.
Fellas.
It's the same when you're flying on business, which is why TAA introduced business class, with a separate quiet zone, up to 4 inches more legroom than economy, and meals to first-class standard. On business, fly business class, exclusive to TAA.
The friendly way.
As the ball goes down in the middle, we reflect on the scoreboard. North Melbourne 10-6-66, Richmond 4-2-26, and Stephen Adamo has kicked 6 goals, 1 of North's 10 goals, 6, as Vidovic pushes the ball down looking for Cockatoo. Richmond will clear, the ball is intercepted, chance again for North. Long hand pass across here to Fitzpatrick, another hand pass on. Conditions slippery, Hanlon overruns the ball, Adamo runs in. Richmond clear with a hand pass. Going wide is Gavin Bayes on the left foot. He kicks it high towards the wing position. Players underneath it. It's a good strong mark taken by Richard Grimmond. I believe Richard's father played for the Tigers too back in your day, Jack, and the ball out wide, and it's Segler who takes a good strong mark. Been playing well at centre half back today, and he'll go wide around the wing position.
He's kicking very high up toward that wing position. There the ball comes at the back of the pack. Can't be picked up by Peter German. Seemed to get a knock across the head there. I thought so. And the umpire has picked it up, and he will pay the free kick to Peter German, who's played very, very well. Played it away in the second half of the second quarter here. He's looking for Robert Cockatoo. Oh, he gets up high, as a Cockatoo should, I suppose. He didn't quite take that mark. Kicked down toward the half-forward zone. Vidovic doing well too, the big fellow, under these conditions, playing very well. That wasn't the best thing to do. Once you give them a rap, they bring you undone. Punched it down to Segler, who tapped it out on purpose. The umpire could have penalised that, but has decided not to. So North Melbourne 10-6, 66, Richmond 4-2, 26, a lead of 40 points with the time clock on 27 minutes of the second term in the 84 grand final of the under-19s.
I think Vidovic's given them an armchair ride in the ruck.
Oh, he's done very well.
The best big man on the ground as the ball swung in towards centre half forward, and the North defence been very safe as Crocker gets the ball. They were slow early, indirect, but they've really taken control of the match now, the Roos, and Gerard Butts.
We'll see that. That's the reason North is in front. They're playing in front of their opposition.
And down on the forward line, Jack, in the first quarter, Adamo and Cockatoo are playing from behind. Here's Adamo going again for the ball. Look,
he copped one then too, but he won't kick any goal from out there. He's too far out. I don't know why he had to come right out from goal as he has, because he's way out in the half-forward flank, nearly up to the wing. Now, a fellow who's kicked 6 goals from round the goal square shouldn't be up in that position. So he's going kick chasing, but he has found a teammate with the pass. It's been taken now here by Fitzpatrick, Neil Fitzpatrick, into the forward pocket. And it's pretty hard to kick goals from in here. They should be taking their shots from in front of goal. Peter German, I've spoke of quite a bit. I'm very impressed with this player, as I am with Adamo, and there's a few out there that I'm fairly impressed with. But the Peter German has been in, about 10 or 11 possessions now, Mike, I would think. That's a poor shot at goal, though. It's out of bounds. It hasn't scored in the free kick. 12 kicks so far to Peter German, so he has been a very constructive player. But as I said before, they shouldn't try and kick goals from out of those forward pockets.
I think Peter German's had 12 kicks, but I suppose 8 would have been ineffective and 4 have resulted in goals. So.
Yes, well, here's another good player too. Fitzpatrick shaping up for North Melbourne to be a good player. Now, he shouldn't be looking for the long kick. He should be trying to find a forward. He's tried to find Adamo, who's given away the free kick. And the free kick on this occasion will be taken by Richmond player in Brett Maishman.
Well, Jack, it's almost half-time. Richmond have scored 1 goal for the quarter against 7 goals for by North. And the Tigers will really have to regroup at half-time. They're not looking good anywhere on the position. It's German over to Fitzpatrick, their key players. Adamo behind, won't take the mark. It's a good grab taken in defence by the Tigers. And Richmond, with that change down there, we see Gavin Bayes, who's moved on to Adamo. Bayes gets away straight away, gets the ball across to Maishman. Maishman goes wide, finds a nice pass over there to Chris Pym. Pym steadies on the half-back flank, decides to run round his opponent, goes wide, punch on, chance again for North Melbourne to intercept, and that's exactly what they're doing. They've been playing in front, they're first to the ball, punch down.
Good teamwork there.
4 North Melbourne players in there again. Liberatore comes out, gets the hand pass. North Melbourne into attack again. Adamo is out of position, I suppose. The ball hasn't been kicked to him on this occasion. Richmond through Bayes gets the ball around towards the half-forward flank or wing position. Vidovic doubles back, regathers the ball. In there fighting. Good play, Vidovic. And the umpire will bounce. We've been playing just over 30 minutes in the second quarter, and what was an even game till quarter time has swung decidedly North Melbourne's way as they lead by 40 points.
Umpire having a few words to say to some of the players there. I was just looking at the flags on the scoreboard too. Seemed to be blowing over toward the railway yards there, but North Melbourne, you would say, kicking into it, but they've had a very good quarter, so I don't think the breeze is having that much effect on the game. Peter German getting into the back of the opposition now. Here's a chance for Richmond to take the ball away through Skinner, but it's kicked very high, thumped to turf. Who can take it away? Nobody at this stage of the game. A little short pass comes across. Players lose their footing here. The ground is a little bit tricky on the top. Chance for Richmond to get it away from this wing position, but they can't get it out cleanly. Been soccer tactics being used, but not very effectively. Taken by Hogarth. He gets a hand pass away now, and through their Ricky Jackson. Richmond go forwards up to their half-forward zone. We're on the members' side of the ground. Vidovic in there battling for North Melbourne. They can't handle the ball too well. And there's the half-time siren here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the under-19 84 grand final. North Melbourne 10 goals 66. Richmond 4 goals 26.
For example, to make the left.
Hands together in prayer, and on screen now, North Melbourne's ruckman, Lazar Vidovic, who has been an outstanding player in the first half, rucked tirelessly. He's left the ruck work on the forward line to Robert Cockatoo, who's kicked 3 goals. The young Aboriginal boy from Cairns, and my gosh, he's an exciting prospect. As the umpires, Luckman and Trezise, get the game off in the second half.
Well, there's the bounce taking place now, favouring Vidovic. Got the ball down to the turf. Can North Melbourne get it moving? They will now. They're moving the ball away. Good player too, and Darryl Brown gets it up to the half or forward pocket area. Can't be taken. A chance for Cockatoo. He's out now, clear in the open. He shoots, but a shocking shot at goal. He was only about 15 metres out from goal. He's hooked it right across into the forward pocket, and the ball has gone out of bounds on the full, giving a free kick to Richmond. That's Robert Cockatoo on screen, only a lad of 17 and playing very well. Dean Notting of Richmond taking the free kick and going out toward the practice wicket area of the Melbourne cricket ground. Could have been a North Melbourne free kick there, but the umpire said not. The ball on the turf, and a big pack forming up, and now we hear the whistle to indicate a bounce which will take place on North Melbourne's half-forward flank. North Melbourne 10-6, 66, leading Richmond 4-2, 26.
Jack, quite an art in under-19 football for coaches and selectors, picking players who will go on in the game.
Yes, it is an art too. Or some players pick themselves, Stephen. They just have natural ability. Others, some coaches, you can see the rawness of a player needs a bit polishing up, and they can certainly work them out. Now, this
I like Vidovic in that area. I think he could be quite a player in time to come. And Adamo and Cockatoo have certainly shown plenty. But the Richmond team, they really haven't had any outstanding players. Ricky Jackson's been busy, gets the ball across there now, and caught with the ball is Dean Notting. Finally gets it across to Paul Hogarth. Hogarth way up to the half-forward line. Let's see if the Tigers can get things moving in this third quarter, as Brian said, kicks the ball back towards the wing.
Well, a busy little player here is going after the ball is Hogarth. He's done quite well for Richmond, but they haven't had a lot of fellas to back him up. North Melbourne, in personality, been very, very strong today. We mentioned those players at the half-time break, where Stephen Adamo, Laser Vidovic, Peter German, Darren Tressida, Robert Cockatoo, Darren Crocker, they've all played well, and that's not many of the North Melbourne backmen have had a great deal to do, so we haven't really seen much of them. There's a chance for North to go forward now through Butts, but the ball has been trapped on that half-forward line for North, been hurried out of the pack. Trying to pick it up there was Jackson, one of Richmond's better players, but he couldn't get it out. And this game has been a pretty scrambly game compared to other years, which are normally open in the under-19s. But
who did we have last year? North Melbourne and Melbourne? I think Melbourne might have beaten North, or was it?
No, it was Fitzroy the year before.
And Fitzroy.
Yeah,
Fitzroy and Melbourne it was last year. It was a very good game, and a lot of those young Melbourne players have really made their mark. We've seen Melbourne win premierships 2 out of the last 3 years, and that 81 under-19 team was an excellent side, and I suppose 6 or 7 of them have made the seniors and established themselves.
He's a good little player there, Liberatore, getting the ball up toward Adamo, but he can't pick it up. Another chance for North Melbourne to come forward. Has been taken now and shot for goal by Fitzpatrick, but didn't quite make the distance. Hurried snap at goal, going absolutely nowhere. Got through for a 1 behind, was from Adamo, but
good team play with a handball down.
It was a good move.
Quite easy to have the kick.
Adamo's he's kicked 6-2 now. He kicked, I think, 5 straight, then missed one. He's kicked now 6-2, so he's not doing badly.
And that 5-1 all in the second quarter. He kicked a goal in the opening quarter, and I think to kick 5 goals in a quarter in a game of football is a very fair effort indeed.
Yes, he's only 18 too, so he's got plenty of time.
Darryl Brown with the ball. They're off again over to Liberatore. Liberatore, it's a bad hand pass. He's under pressure, gets out of it well, Liberatore. Gets it back to his teammate. North Melbourne through German. German seems to kick better under extreme pressure. Liberatore with a good tackle. And the ball finally forced over the boundary line in North Melbourne's forward pocket, in front of the members' stand and the Western stand there, and we'll have the throw in. The ball missed at the throw-in. German again kicks it high. Off the ground and through for a behind.
One thing I have noticed about Peter German, he can use the ball with either foot. He uses it well too, but I did say early in the game that his first 3 Surrey's forward went to the opposition, but at least he got the ball moving there. Another player playing well is Brown for North Melbourne. That one is tapped down on the ground, now heading toward the boundary line. I think we'll see it finish there. The umpire indicating now that Peter German had taken the ball out of bounds. It's North Melbourne in attack, 10-8, 68 on the scoreboard to 4-2, 26. The ball being brought in now in North Melbourne's half-forward line, or nearly forward pocket. Comes to turf, another chance for North. The ball shot down by Fitzpatrick. Richmond a chance to take it away now. It's coming right up to the half-back flank for Richmond. They can't get it out as yet. They're going to try and get it away, but North Melbourne seem to always have 2 against 1. That was Fitzpatrick trying to get it out for North, couldn't do so. Vidovic Can't do a great deal with it. Got it out to Fitzpatrick. Then a funny hand pass finds Tressida. He moves it further downfield, and this is Hanlon doing quite well for North too. Kicking in toward Adamo. He's up in front, can't take the mark. There's a chance now for Richmond to take it away. It'll be taken away by Hogarth. He gets a hand pass moving, and it's Richmond driving the ball further up to the half-forward zone now. That came off the boot of Schultz. Richmond going forward, off the boot now. It's been driven down by Ryan to the forward pocket area, but the umpire said through for only one behind. So Richmond increased their score to 4-3. North Melbourne on 10-9.
John Klug in the picture from Hobart, and our pictures, of course, going down through TVT6 to a very cold and in some places snowy Hobart town on Grand Final Day 1984. Ball pushed down, the Tigers have the chance, they fumble, North Melbourne clear and towards the boundary line, should beat everyone over the line, and does, right into our communications set up down there on the boundary line, and the umpire will throw the ball in. Half-forward flank for the Tigers.
On screen there, number 4 for North was Darryl Brown. He's only 18, he comes from Dandenong.
The throw-in, tapped over the back, it's a Tiger tap that time. Fitzpatrick, not a good hand pass. Lets in his opponent in Johnson. Johnson kicks it long, looking for Klug. Klug's kicked 2 goals. The ball is over the boundary line. He's had to work very hard, John Klug. The ball hasn't been coming to him at all well. And whereas North Melbourne have been feeding Cockatoo and Adamo with good passing.
What with?
now, Jack, with good passing. The Richmond forwards have been made to look like galahs. The throw-in. Grab there. Cleared again, that time by Brian Said. Scrambly football down there, tapped out by Jackson.
Tressida now.
Good defensive play by North Melbourne. It's their skipper Tressida who clears the ball.
Good mark.
And a great mark. That's the way. German. His kick poor again. It is amazing how much this boy has put into the game, and yet his kicking has let him down consistently. Maishman back towards the centre of the ground, and a nice mark taken there by North Melbourne. It looks like Segler. Segler, the centre half-back, gets the hand pass across to Fitzpatrick. It's not a good hand pass. The Tigers clear again through Scurra, and that's a better looking pass. And Richmond finally on the half-forward line. They've got some semblance going as Robert Skinner, who was reported in the second quarter, lines up with a torpedo. It's a wobbly old kick. Good mark taken down there. The umpire pays it too, and it will go to number 19, Richard Richmond from Wodonga.
A very hard shot here off the boundary line. He's about 35, 40 metres out. He should make the distance all right, but the breeze appears to be coming from over his right shoulder now.
And it is strong too.
It looks strong up there, Steve. Now, whether it's the same down on the ground, I don't know. He's going to take a very tight shot off the boundary line. Who was it?
Richard Grimman, Dick Grimman's son, I believe.
Oh, from up Wodonga. He's only 18 too. Having the shot at goal. Oh, hit the post. It was a very good try. He nearly snuck it through, but not quite getting it there. So Richmond now moved to 4-4, 28, and North Melbourne on 10-8, 68. North Melbourne getting away from Richmond in that second term, kicking 7-4 to Richmond's 1 goal, and a short pass coming out and taken out there by Andrew Douglas of North Melbourne. Up to the wing position he goes. Good kick too, very good kick. Can't find a teammate as yet. Another chance for Richmond to bring the ball away by Hogarth. Now hand pass gets rid of it. Little nudge in the back by the North Melbourne defender, I noticed there. The umpire hasn't picked it up. Could be a heavy tackle going on Jackson, but the umpire said play on. And we've seen a fair bit of scrambly football here this afternoon, which, as I said before, is most unlike the under-19s. They normally get the ball out in the open and use it well. Oh, did I say this afternoon? Well, it's still this morning, I'm sorry. Bounce taking place, only a few metres out from Richmond's goal, but can they take advantage of it? They can't as yet.
Said who gets the ball around on the left foot, and I was just looking through the North Melbourne list. They've recruited very well from their country zone. They've got 10 players from the country in their side, all up around the Ovens and Murray. It's a lovely pass out there. Klug not paid the mark, might have been a bit of a surprise. Back to the skipper Tressida, around on the left foot, kicks it high. And the conditions slippery here, and the feet going away from underneath the players. Sean Scurra comes through. The umpire says no, give it back to the North Melbourne player, and the player there is Crocker. Crocker's kick, good, finds a teammate. And this is the way North Melbourne have built up this 40-point lead, by teamwork. Cockatoo pushed out, follows up well, goes for the tackle. Tressida comes through, been a very good player in the last quarter and a half. The Tigers coming through now in Hogarth. Slippery conditions.
He's played well, as Hogarth.
Hogarth has been one of their better players, Jack, and they've had few. Martin Mend, he's caught with the ball. The umpire says too high. Martin Mend, number 5 from Heatherdale, will take the free kick right in the centre of the ground. His left foot drop punt is pulled up by the wind.
Good mark. That's using your body very well. He got in front then, Thorogood, put the body right in front. A very tall lad, as you can see, and very hard to get around him. He's putting it up to the wing position on the outer side. There was a nudge in the back to North Melbourne, but the umpire has awarded the mark. Yeah, he didn't see the nudge in the back, so free kick will go to, or the mark will go to Gavin Schultz. He's looking downfield now. Thorogood was there that time. He got the ball away too with a thump. Now it's been taken by North Melbourne's Hanlon, who's done quite well. Oh, he's lost that one pretty easy. The ball now with the Richmond players on the wing position outer side. Can't get it out, was Notting. Now the North Melbourne players try to get it out. See, I'm a bit disappointed in this football, but the very scrambly not the conditions, the players are making it scrambly.
Tug gets a handball across now. The Tigers making very hard work for themselves. Long hand pass out. Here's the opportunity now as the handball on. Doubling back, the ball kicked high towards the goals. Jack, you keep an eye on the player.
He's touched it on,
and his teammate has touched it on the line.
You can punt on Saturday winners. Hope your numbers soon come up. Take a bet at the casino. Try to woo all lady luck. But don't gamble with your holding. Don't take risks on quality. For service and parts your holding. Dealer's the man to see.
All over Australia, quality GM and AC Delco parts and competitively priced service from local Holden dealers are keeping great cars great. See your local Holden dealer. Nobody knows Holden better.
That behind, Jack, took Richmond to 4-5-29. North Melbourne 10-8-68. And for the quarter, Richmond have kicked 3 points and North Melbourne have kicked 2 points. And we've been playing 12 minutes. With the ball now is Chris Pym. He goes for the short pass. Finds his North Melbourne opponent in Lazor Vidovic, who has played an absolute ripper.
15-metre penalty there for Vidovic too. So he now moves the ball up to the half-back zone. Another chance for North Melbourne through Brown. Moves the ball, Darren Brown to the wing position. North Melbourne using the ball fairly well now.
They're hunting in pairs too, Jack.
Looking at a young Richmond player down there, young Hogarth. He seems to be going all right.
Robert Cockatoo right in position here.
No.
He's got long arms. He tried to stretch them. He'd like them another 6 inches longer. Ball finally kicked back. German, can't mark. Liberatore in there. Clever player, gets the hand pass out. Here's the advantage rule going on now as Fitzpatrick lines up. The ball just swings away at the end and through for one behind. Neil Fitzpatrick just offline on that occasion, and another behind for the quarter. 40 points the margin remains as Richmond kicks out. And Jack, that wind, you do notice it, it is favouring that end quite strongly when you kick high.
Yes, it being held up by the breeze on some occasions. Now the ball, no one home for North Melbourne that time. The ball has been taken, looks like Michael Cumming, getting the ball down toward the half-back zone. Overrunning it there was Mark Johnson, but Tressida picks it up for North. Robert Cockatoo's a chance here. He flew. They're having a bit of trouble down there. He and Adamo are flying against each other and not getting the ball as they should. Darren Brown snaps toward goal and only got one behind. It's becoming a bit of a problem down there between Adamo and Cockatoo. When the ball's kicked high toward the square, they're competing in the air for it. So I think that's one thing the coach of North Melbourne, Dennis Pagan, will have to try and work out.
Skinner off the ground for Richmond, and Justin Pickering is back on the ground for his first run. It looks as though young Robert Skinner might have injured his shoulder or arm. In fact, he's going around to the medical room now, which is bad luck for him. North Melbourne through Liberatore, line up, Liberatore's kick. One behind again. Disappointing drop in standard in this second half here at the MCG. It's the under-19 grand final, and North Melbourne 42 points ahead, and they are doing it very well indeed.
North Melbourne kicked 5 points straight in this quarter, Stephen, so not unlike the second term in which they kicked 7-4. Richmond moving the ball well now. Down to the half-forward zone. It's been taken here and kicked by Des Ryan to the forward pocket position, giving his forwards a chance, but they can't take advantage of it. The hand pass came back from Thorogood. North Melbourne messing around a little bit in the back pocket area, but still in control of the ball. Tressida picks up. Not a long kick. He found Liberatore. That would have hurt the fingers. Hit him right on the end. Liberatore getting a hand pass out. Looks like Fitzpatrick again for North. As I said, played well, giving it over to Peter German. And let's see how he uses the ball. Should be looking for Adamo. He kicks it up high. Chance for Cockatoo. There they've flown against each other again. Adamo and Cockatoo, they shouldn't be doing it, and Pagan will have to work it out. So the Richmond defenders standing firm and driving the ball up, and Brown takes the mark, plays on. There's a chance of a score. He's gone a short one, and a good defence by Richmond on that occasion. North Melbourne having trouble getting a goal in this third term. Liberatore gets a hand pass in, 40 metres out from goal. The shot's taken, but smothered off the boot and forced through for one behind.
It looked like Darren Crocker there, number 24, who kicked that behind. And Jack, gosh, they are wasting opportunities, but they're so far ahead. I don't think it's really going to matter in the final wash-up. They're 6 points. They've kicked 6 straight this quarter. No goals. Mark taken out there. North Melbourne just far too strong.
I don't think that's the right way to look at a game of football, and I'm sure Dennis Pagan won't be looking at it that way.
No, I realise that. They have been a bit slack in this quarter. All back towards the goals now. Can anyone kick it off the ground? Over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. 15.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. Neither side has gold for the term. Richmond 3 points. North Melbourne have kicked 6 points. And very windy conditions. The ground not all that holding underfoot. And the Tigers will move out with a free kick. Back towards that practice wicket area on the half-back flank. North reading the play better. Good tackle, not paid, says the umpire. Liberatore underneath it. He's been a very busy player, Jack.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say he's been a busy player. So is Hogarth of Richmond, just getting the hand pass away. He moves it down to the half-back flank. Dean Notting having a lot of trouble picking it up. See, the ball looks fairly dry, Stephen, and the ground looks in good condition. I think the players are getting a little bit over-anxious at times too. Richmond getting the ball tapped away, or tapping the ball away. It's been picked up here by Hickey of North Melbourne in toward Robert Cockatoo. He trapped it well. Got a hand pass out too, looking for a teammate. He found one. The hand pass is shot out by Hanlon. The shot at goal is on its way, but once again, North Melbourne off target. So not having the best of, I won't say luck in this quarter, not kicking for goal well in the third term, but leading Richmond 10-13-73 to 4-5-29.
I go so far, Jack, as to say that North have had 80% of the play for the game today. They've had nearly all the play. The rare chances that Richmond have got it up there, they've had 9 scoring shots to 23, and the ball will be thrown on the Richmond half-back line.
There's a big lad on screen now,
That's
David
Segler.
Segler. He's only 17, you know. He's 195 centimetres and 95
I've been
kilos.
impressed with him too.
Comes from Wodonga.
Can we just get his stats? 4 kicks, 4 hand passes. He's marked a couple of times, but I like the way he's used his body well. He's knocked the ball on and he's spoiled. And he hasn't had that many opportunities down there because the ball hasn't been down there too often. Tapped forward on that occasion by Pym. Off the ground there by Tressida. North back out again, and here are 2 or 3 of them again as German gets his foot to the ball, kicks it high. It's going to be a punch job. Caught. Punched out that time by Mendy. Tigers in all sorts of trouble. They're under all sorts of pressure. Liberatore tries to fool the umpire and say it wasn't out. The boundary umpire not to be fooled. The boundary umpires today, Cato and McKenna, and the field umpires, Luckman and Trezise, the highlights of their year. I would imagine doing the grand final on the MCG. Tigers away again. Number 30 is Gavin Bayes.
North Melbourne leading in the stats, of course, Stephen, as you mentioned before. They've had a lot of the players. It's Fitzpatrick again, getting the ball around to Brown. Can't take the mark. Little Liberatore, oh, a beautiful hand pass. He shot that out to Peter German. Now German balks. He got a hand pass away eventually. The North Melbourne goal's wide open, and the kick coming off the boot now of Crocker into the goal square, but off target and through for one behind again.
North Melbourne back into attack. They're lining up. Richmond Martin right down there. They didn't look for Adamo, as Jack just said. Why not? One wonders. And the ball short. With him now is Gavin Schultz. Schultz plays on. Oh, it's a woeful kick. Here's the chance for Vic Vidovic. He gets the bounce. Uses his weight. Gets 2 around the head. The umpire says you can have a free kick for both of them.
Well, he's only getting 1 free kick. He got 2 hits round the head. This fellow shows a lot of ability. A lot of ability for a big man.
I like him, Jack, and I like the way he kicks that ball up. He's got the right idea. Kicks it straight out in front, And North Melbourne now with a chance to put goal number 11 on the board after kicking 8 behind straight.
Well, it looked like Peter German again, is it? Yes, it is, taking the mark. This is the first shot I think he's had at goal, though. He's been getting the ball down to the forwards. This is his first shot at goal, about 35 metres out. His 18th kick, kicked by Peter German, bringing up his first goal and breaking North's drought in the third term. North Melbourne at that stage, they had 10-14 on the board, so they'd kicked 8 points straight in the third term until Peter German got his first goal, and he's certainly been rewarded for a fine game with 1 goal now, because he's had 18 possessions, as I mentioned before, 18 kicks, and he's been feeding the forwards. But you watch this mark taken by Peter German. I'm very impressed with this lad. Didn't take his eye off the ball at all. Kept his eye on it, took a strong mark and got it through for a goal. So we're back in the middle again, and Richmond have to do something to get back in the game. Hogarth, I've mentioned before, playing quite well. Got the ball forward, but can the Richmond forwards further upfield do something with it? North Melbourne defending well. The ball driven up toward the vacant half-forward zone. The Richmond defence standing firm. Cockatoo doing the chasing, but he can't catch it.
Long kick, good try down there. No mark. Tressida, been very solid. Cop one head on, the umpire says play on. Chance for North Melbourne to clear. Round the wing, Fitzpatrick's kick. Drops in short, one-handed to German. Play on, the advantage rule comes into effect. Tigers get the chance to clear. No pressure on this kick, let's see what they do with it. Not a good kick. Tressida underneath it, so too is Vidovic. Sade gets a hand pass on. North, out of defence. They'll be down there looking for Cockatoo or German or Adamo. They're 3 guns on the half-forward line. Adamo's well tackled. The ball kept into play. Finally rolls out. Half-forward flank for North. 21 minutes gone in this third quarter. And the Roos lead by 51 points.
North Melbourne have had 104 kicks to Richmond 72.
And I think a number of those Richmond ones were fairly ineffective. German, the top kick getter on the ground, runs into goal. His kick is woeful and out of bounds on the full. Paid the point. Well, I
wouldn't have thought so.
No, I don't think so either.
I agreed with Stephen on that one. I thought he'd missed completely. But
bad luck we have got a replay of that. It looked as though it cleared the right-hand side of the point post. With the ball now is Dean Notting.
There's a chance for Richmond now. That's open.
Loose man.
Very open.
He can pick it up. What will he do with the ball? On the left foot. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. That's the best bit of play we've seen from the Tigers all day. As Des Ryan goes forward, lines up from 35 metres out. Offline, poor play Richmond.
Yes, that was a very poor play indeed, because Richmond had that ball to themselves when it was picked up on the wing position the outer side, shot over to Ryan. Ryan had all the time in the world to get himself balanced, run into the open goal, and he put it through for only 1 behind. So Richmond 4-6-30, trailing North Melbourne by 51 points, and the time clock getting toward the 23-minute mark of the third quarter. Brian said kicking in from the full-back position for North Melbourne now, kicking high to the outer side half-back flank position, and a strong mark taken on this occasion by, it looks like, James Stevenson, is it? Ball driven up to the wing. Another good mark taken. So North Melbourne controlling this passage of play in the air, looking for a forward now, going back. Adamo called his teammate to leave it, and that he did, but the teammate couldn't pick it up. It's been shot out there by Mendy. The ball taken away by Richmond's now. Gavin Bay is number 31. Small kick comes around toward the wing on the outer side, and the ball's been taken by Dean Notting. Notting of Richmond driving into the half-forward zone. They'll have to come straight down the ground if they wish to do well, because they're trailing. Tressida picks up for North Melbourne, moves the ball into the centre. Well, the North Melbourne player waited for it, didn't have much option really. Schultz missed it on the way through, giving his North Melbourne opponent the chance to get back in the picture. Looks like Brown being held by the jump, but the umpire didn't see that. So Brown getting a hand pass back out. It wasn't very good football. Said getting the ball away. Tressida backs up. He does well too. Gets the ball into the half-forward zone for North Melbourne. Cockatoo will be looking for the hand pass to come back. Here it is now. And Cockatoo breaking away. Getting got the kick smothered off the boot. All he had to do was try to put a little balk in. Good play by Shaver there. And I just see Cash and McEnroe score on the board.
Yes, McEnroe taking the first 2 sets. And of course, the Davis Cup on 7 the next 2 mornings. 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock on Monday morning. And we'll be having a look at the doubles and the reverse singles. Ball towards the boundary line. The umpire will come in and pay the free kick. He'll pay it North Melbourne's way. It will go to Brian Hanlon. North Melbourne this quarter have kicked 1 goal, 9. Richmond have kicked 4 behinds. So 1-13 is woeful kicking in a grand final between 2 very skillful young sides. Ball down, Tigers with it. It's Mendy, gets the ball around, no mark. Coming through now is Brown.
He can play too, this fella,
Kenny
Brown.
Watt. Hanlon in there. Here's a chance for North. Man behind had the sit. In trouble now. Oh, nicely picked up by German.
Good goal.
And he just slides it through.
I got a mate. I got a mate. I got a mate called Mazda.
Real good mate I go to work with. Real good mate who works real hard. Real good mate I got to rely on.
My Mazda B's the best investment I ever made. That 2-litre engine works real hard. 5-speed transmission will go anywhere. Power-assisted front discs will stop any time. Add Mazda comfort and reliability to all that muscle, you got more than a ute, you got a mate. I got a mate called Mazda.
German statistics showed 20 kicks and 7 hand passes. He's kicked 2 goals. Maybe 60-40 effectiveness with the kicks. 40% effective. But North Melbourne coach of next year, whoever replaces Barry Cable, will certainly be looking to youngsters like Peter German to carry on the rebuilding program that the Roos have embarked on. That is an in-the-back situation, and that will go to number 19 for the Tigers, Richard Grimmond. Coming off the ground now is Robert Cockatoo. Give him a break. He's played well. He dropped out of it a bit in this quarter. And the North Melbourne mark on the wing position.
Yes, Vidovic with the ball for North Melbourne, looking in toward the half-forward zone, which has been vacated by Cockatoo, as you have just been told. Ball comes to Schultz. He comes to Schultz now. He gets the ball moving up toward the half-forward zone for Richmond. But Richmond not doing a great deal when they do get up that far. Been taken away by Segler, the big fella from up at Wodonga. Thumped down toward the... going in, just about to let the boot fly there. Was North Melbourne player in Thorogood, but pulled it back. So no penalty against him. Getting kick away now, Simon Clark of Richmond up to the half-forward zone. Really a miraculous mark. Looks like Vidovic again, but he didn't quite hang on to it. Rough and tumble in there, and the umpires come into bounce.
Yes, I think he might have hurt his shoulder. He pushed one hand back to take the mark, Jack, and as he was swung back, he fell heavily, and that's Jamie Stevenson. I think Stevenson might be the young fellow who kicked all the goals for Assumption a couple of years ago, and he's played with North Melbourne the last couple of years. Free kick, it'll go North Melbourne's way.
Scoreboard showing North Melbourne 12-15-87, leading Richmond 4 goals 6-30.
He's almost my best player on the ground to date.
Vidovic has played well. Looks like he's hurt himself, as you said.
3 quarters to date. We're at the 27-minute mark of this third quarter, and North Melbourne really setting themselves up for the under-19 premiership as Ricky Jackson comes out with the ball. Wearing Billy Barrett's old number was Gary Robinson, and he had that number taken by the umpires early on, and it's a great mark taken down there by Stevenson. Free kick indeed.
The umpire paid the free kick, but it was just a mark anyhow.
I think I would have paid the mark anyway. Stevenson on the left foot. Long kick out to a loose man out there on the flank.
It's like that Fitzpatrick again. He's had a lot of kicks too. Michael, what's he done? He's been in the game a lot. 16 kicks and 8 hand passes, certainly doing his job down there for North Melbourne. Nearly all the North Melbourne players going well. Here's a chance for North to get it moving again now through Douglas, but the siren sounds at the end of the third term, and North Melbourne at the end of the third term leading by 57 points over Richmond. North 12-15-87, Richmond 4-6-30.
When you're going about your business,
Would you like a beer, mate? Oh, no, Bernard. Hi, George.
the last thing you want is people who aren't.
Fellas.
It's the same when you're flying on business, which is why TAA introduced business class, with a separate quiet zone, up to 4 inches more legroom than economy, and meals to first-class standard. On business, fly business class, exclusive to TAA.
The friendly way.
Hey, look at this. It's the Mobile Whizzer, the new fun toy for kids 3 to 8 years of age. It assists coordination and strength of arm and chest muscles. The Mobile Whizzer can be used outdoors or indoors. It's light and maneuverable. The Mobile Whizzer is easy to assemble. Replacement parts are available and comes with a 12 months guarantee. So get a Whizzer and whiz around for years. Brought to you by Easy Tips Australia. Available from these stores.
Aquanaut, the automatic pool cleaner pre-programmed to clean your entire pool quickly, quietly and efficiently without your ever having to lift a finger. Aquanaut is programmed to make circles, left and right turns, straight runs, climbing up and down the walls, into and out of every corner. for a sparkling clean pool, Aquanaut, the new generation pool cleaner that thinks for itself.
You ain't nothing but a hound. Make me feel like dancing. Wanna dance the night away. Stop, whoa, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. When that song says no man.
For the music you've been missing, all hit 3UZ.
Somewhere beneath the streets, it waits. At first, no one believed. Now, no one will forget. Alligator, the thrilling Sunday movie premiere at 8:30 on 7.
Win, lose or draw, the grand final edition of World of Sport has it all. A complete roundup of the day, plus live crosses to the after-match celebrations. A special edition of the World of Sport tonight at 8:30.
Welcome back to the MCG. That's the view from the new light tower. The ground filling up. The grand final, 2:30 this afternoon. Of course, our show starts at 2 o'clock. And the situation in the under-19 grand final, the North Melbourne coach Dennis Pagan talking to his boys. They've kicked 12-15, including 2-9 in that erratic third quarter. And they're running away from Richmond, who've kicked 4 goals, 6. We might just take another break, and Jack, we'll come back and look at the statistics. They're great for North Melbourne, but very, very poor for the Tigers.
Right, Steve.
That's why Just Jeans have got together their biggest range of brands, styles and colours in practically every size. Because, well, there's no such thing as an average guy. Right, Max? He's wrapped in his Lee Cooper stretch canvas, or there's Lee stretch, Wrangler canvas, or Amco linen Bogarts. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Just Jeans, 'cause no one's just average.
If you own your own company fleet, you're probably buried in paperwork. Repayments, registration, insurance, purchase, stamp duty, servicing. A lot of your time and capital tied up in cars. With Budget Lease Management, we lease, maintain, and look after your fleet for you. So all you need do is just pay one monthly account. Budget Lease Management, giving you and your capital back to your business.
If you do your own oil change, you can save a few dollars by using a cheap oil. But you might not save your engine. It's not worth risking a cheap oil. Your expensive engine deserves the protection of new Mobile Super Drop. The first oil to combine friction modifiers with 20,000 kilometers of engine protection. New Mobile Super Drop.
Back here live at the MCG, and North Melbourne well in command in the under-19 grand final. They lead Richmond by 57 points. In the picture there, former North Melbourne veteran Arnold Brightus. He's really, is that Arnold?
Yeah, it's Arnold Brightus with Dennis Pagan, the coach. Arnie's...
Gee, I've never seen Arnold dressed this well too. Bad luck he hasn't got his black jacket on.
Well, Arnie, a great player for North Melbourne, but some of the North Melbourne under-19 players shaping up with great futures too. Quite a few of them shaping up to be players of the future.
Jack, just one word about the Davis Cup tomorrow on 7. Pat Cash lost the first singles rubber 6-3, 6-4, 6-1 to John Patrick McEnroe in Portland, Oregon. But we'll be looking forward to having a look at the last 2 days on 7. Third quarter here at the MCG. The umpire comes into bounce. 57 points the margin in North Melbourne's favour. And Vidovic, who has played an outstanding game, gets the tap down to Liberatore, who's been equally good. The free kick, and it will go Liberatore's way.
Yes, he's been a very effective player, little Liberatore. One thing North Melbourne are missing, and I think that's a rove around the goals when the ball comes to turf. They haven't picked many up off the ground. Here's Liberatore putting the ball down toward the full forward position within 45 metres. Adamo tried to get a hand pass out, couldn't do so. Ball taken away by Ricky Jackson, it appears, over to the half-back flank, and we'll see a boundary throw-in taking place on the half-forward flank for North Melbourne. North Melbourne in the second term kicked 7-4, but in the third term they kicked 2-9. Richmond in the second term only kicked 1 goal, and in the third term only 3 points. Liberatore again, getting ahead one there, but forced out. German, one of the most prolific kick getters in the game, getting the ball moving forward, but North Melbourne can't take advantage of his good play. From the half-back line now, there's a chance for Richmond to drive out of trouble, but not a long kick. Coming up toward the half-back zone, taking it there was Ricky Jackson, but North Melbourne have a chance to take it back again. No, Jackson gains possession once again, kicks up toward the wing position, the ball comes to turf, and the rover was Vidovic, the ruckman, went for a short one to Fitzpatrick, couldn't find him. Chance for Richmond now to drive the ball forward. Scarra picks up, his hand pass is returned. Scarra taking the ball away, going for a short pass, moving it in toward the half-forward zone, and Richmond try to get it moving from this position. They're having trouble though, they can't move it out of that half-forward zone. They're having trouble when they do get it a little bit further forward, but there is a chance for them to score. Hogarth it is.
They look, Jack, to be totally confused down there. Kicks it long, and that's a lovely mark taken down there by Justin Pickering, who came on midway through the second quarter to replace Robert Skinner. And Justin Pickering from the Glen Waverley Hawks. He's 17 years of age and has the chance to put Richmond's 5th goal on the board, and do they need it. Justin comes in.
Good kick.
It's a lovely looking kick, maybe just on the wrong side of the post, through for a behind, and the Tigers' woes continue as they move to 4-7-31 and trail by 56 points.
Well, Richmond really only have had 2 effective players, in my opinion anyhow. I think young Hogarth has been a good player for them, and Jackson too has done quite well.
Jack, don't forget World of Sport tonight, 8:30.
I'll be watching, no worries, I'll be there.
For the full wrap-up of Grand Final Day. And of course the panel, all the big presentations. We'll have the Brownlow medalist, the leading goal kicker, all our presentations in, and of course the $15,000 World of Sport Adidas Award.
Right, Liberatore got that ball over to Peter German. There's no one to kick to, not one soul making a lead. It's Adamo coming out from goal now, but a long way out from goal, up to the half-forward zone. He looked for it in the back. The umpire didn't pay any. Hand pass comes out now, and Richmond can move it through Schultz. He goes up from the half-back line, up toward the centre. Segler's there for North Melbourne, and the big fella takes the mark just short of the half-back line. Segler should drive into the half-forward zone. He does so now, and the mark has been taken. A little bit of treatment being dished out there to North Melbourne's Gerard Butts. Butts going up toward Adamo's too far out from goal. He should be closer to goal. No, he's been told to play on now. Butts kicking toward Adamo. Adamo out in front, can't take the mark. Ball being taken away from him now. Good defensive work by Richmond, but Tressiter's there for North Melbourne to take the mark on the half-forward line. Adamo calling for the ball to be kicked high. Now this is where North Melbourne have been falling down, although I do see Liberatore waiting for the crumb. He hasn't been there on many occasions. Tressiter's going to take the shot from the half-forward zone. I wouldn't think he'd kick it. The ball will come to turf, I would think. Oh, unopposed with the Richmond player flying for the mark. He wasn't paid the mark, he was paid the free kick, and that's Gavin Schultz.
It was amazing, Tressiter. I was sitting here wide-mouthed in wonder as he lined up the goal from 75 metres out. And we see a tap across the face, then Liberatore catching his opponent across the face. Coming through now is North Melbourne, Andrew Douglas. Hand pass from Segler, been impressive. Gets it across to Peter Wright. High mark taken down there, and a good mark taken in defence by Richard Schober. Schober's kick out wide, another Tiger mark. They're beginning to do a few nice things now as Des Ryan looks for a lead. It's a long drop punt down into the half-forward line, over the back waiting, and for North Melbourne. Tigers, wobbly old kick. They've got John Klug down there, trying to battle the ball around. Klug gets it. He's kicked a couple of goals, been one of their few reasonably effective forwards. Too high, and the umpire will pay that to Glenn Thorogood.
Thorogood now with the ball in the back pocket position. Taking plenty of time too. Fitzpatrick getting the ball back to him, but North Melbourne not worried about time. They have the score on the board at this stage, but they have to maintain that lead, of course. Thorogood kicking the ball up toward the half-forward zone. The fellow I've mentioned a few times, Hogarth, Yes, being told to play on. He made a mistake on that occasion, but he has got out of it slightly. Little kick comes off the boot there of Simon Clark, going virtually straight up in the air. Hogarth once again getting in. Nearly gave away the free kick to win the back, I thought, there to Darren Crocker, but the umpire hasn't paid it. North Melbourne 87 points, Richmond 31 points, and the time into the final term is 5 minutes 48 seconds.
And what a great day grand final is in Melbourne. And we've got 6 different teams playing in the 3 different competitions today. And the next match, Melbourne and Carlton, the Channel 7 Reserve Cup Grand Final. Peter McKenna, Don Scott and Graham McNaney will be with us straight after this match. And then, of course, Bob Skilton, Lou and Peter Landy for the big one. And all the festivities start here at 2 o'clock. The whole day live on 7. It's a feast of football. If you haven't got a ticket, stay with us.
Yes, and stay with us. It's Peter German getting the ball out to Liberatore. Liberatore going up toward Adamo again. He can't take the mark. That's well done too by the Richmond defence, getting it away, and now it's through Stephen James. The boy getting that down was Gavin Bayes, who's done well. He kicks it up to the half-forward zone for Richmond, and the free kick will go Richmond's way. There's either 2 of them there. You can raffle that one. Looks like the ball is going to Gary Robinson, is it? You're getting the ball into the forward pocket area. I don't know why he's going that way. It's a rather indirect approach to goal, going from true centre half forward into the forward pocket. I think he should have gone straight down the ground. Maybe that's what the runner's telling him now, because the message has come out. Boundary thrown in the forward pocket for the Tigers. They need some goals, though, to get back into this game. The snap is into the forward, into the goal square. Good defence on that occasion by Tressida. Hurried snap toward goal, and the umpire set us through for 1 behind only. So Richmond advanced their score to 4 goals, 8-32, and North Melbourne 12 goals, 15-87.
They've only kicked 1-6 since the first quarter. The Tigers off the ground again, through for yet another behind. Looking very ragged, the Richmond players. With the ball now is Stephen James. James's kick, a lovely looking torpedo right up into the goal square. North Melbourne defence far too strong. The kick going the Tigers' way could well have been a free kick for too high. The umpire says play on. Richmond go out wide again, looking for James. Has the ball thumped away. Kicked 100 goals for the season, but he hasn't been much help to them in the last 2 matches. Holding the man, no, says the umpire, play on. Back towards the centre of the ground. 4 Richmond players in there and 1 North Melbourne player. Great tackle. 4 against 1. North out with the ball, and coming out is Gerard Butts.
That was a good piece of work. Good piece of work by Butts. Looking for Fitzpatrick, who's been a great player.
He's been a very prolific kick getter, Fitzpatrick. He comes back over the top, fights his way out, and that's been the situation. Liberatore's held, flung to the ground, kicked off the ground, could have been in danger by Fitzpatrick. No, says the umpire, and will have a throw in on the half-forward flank. Half-forward flank with North Melbourne leading by 55 points.
North Melbourne attack from the half-forward flank too, with the time clock getting away. Liberatore again, trying for a hand pass out. He couldn't find Brian Said. Said gets it out now. He has possession of it. The umpire said in the back will be paid to North Melbourne's Peter German. Or will it be Brian Said? They're both trying to get the kick here. The umpire have to sort it out. Peter German will take the free kick for North Melbourne. He'll be looking for Adamo, I would think. Kicks it up high, a chance for Adamo. Big Vidovic's there. Now, once again, the 2 North Melbourne players compete with each other in the air. Adamo going back. Could have been a free kick against Schultz there, but the umpire hasn't awarded that. Going through and losing the ball was Scurra. Now, Richmond coming out of defence now. They're coming toward the members. No, he's changed his mind. He's gone in towards the centre of the ground. Will they all fly? Oh, the man in the middle of the mark taking the pack is Pickering. Taking the mark.
He's played all right since he's been on, Jack.
Yes, he has. We've got a good number there, 35.
Kicks it long. Maybe one of the Tiger forwards can do something. It's a good mark taken at last down on the forward line. And that looks like Peter Burke. Burke is about 35 metres out. He's directly in front. He's got a gale blowing over his shoulders. Now let's see what he can do with it.
That bruiser swung around. Is coming from the other direction now.
Well, I hope Peter Burke hasn't looked there. He's 18 years of age from Mitcham. Comes in, the drop punt, very low, and right offline. Poor kick.
It was a poor kick indeed from only 35 metres out. Not a very good kick at all. So Peter Burke, we're not too impressed with that effort. Now the North Melbourne side from the full-back position going out toward the outer side. Peter Wright is the target, it does appear. The big, tall, blonde fellow can't take the mark. Sock it off the turf into Richmond's forward pocket position. Pickering got a hand pass working toward Burke again, but he's been robbed of possession on that occasion by Robert Wow, or Robert Waugh, is it?
Waugh.
And we'll see a boundary throw in. Well, he's a wow of a player.
54 points the difference. We've been playing 10 minutes in this last quarter. And it's John Klug who kicks the ball up. No opportunity there for the Tiger forwards. Could have been a push in the back. The umpire lets things roll on. Kick by Garn over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in.
Well, Richmond not doing badly in this final term, not getting many scores on the board, but they're playing a bit better football.
I think North have relaxed too, Jack. I think they know the game is well and truly theirs. Perhaps not the right...
I wouldn't think so.
You don't think they've relaxed?
No, I do not.
Do you think Richmond might have picked up a
Richmond have picked their game up a little bit, and I don't think North have relaxed at all, because that certainly would not be the pattern of their play. Now the ball on the wing position, a chance for Schultz of Richmond to get the ball out and drive into the half-forward zone. A good torpedo punt, works right down over the half-forward zone, but an equally good mark has been taken there by Glenn Thorogood of North Melbourne. Peter German calling for the ball on the wing position, and Big Vidovic's there, so they might clash. No, German takes the mark and plays on to Liberatore. I noticed North Melbourne player limping. I'll try and get back to him in a moment. Taken by Fitzpatrick. Big Peter Wright is calling for the ball up there in the goal square, but once again the defence of Richmond standing firm. It's a 15-metre penalty against you too. Gavin Bayes has done very well since he's gone up there.
Good move by Doug Searle, because he's held him really tight. With the ball now going away is Sean Scurra. Scurra, hand pass across there to Grimmond, back towards centre half forward, ball punched away. Another opportunity for Hogarth, gets a long hand pass in. Tigers looking a lot better in the last quarter, but still not putting the score on the board. John Klug, short pass, up over the top, and no mark. Towards the boundary line now, we see Thorogood caught with the ball. He finally gets his kick. Pushing and shoving, Thorogood comes out and gets another kick. That one goes just a bit further. The Tigers with a chance. Liberatore, dangerous, active player the whole game. Gets his kick back towards the centre, sees the loose man, the ball bounces past him. The Tigers really showing a lot more in this quarter, but still they haven't scored since the second quarter.
Haven't scored a goal?
No, goal. They've scored plenty of points. They've scored 7 behind since they scored their last goal. And North have kept scoreless for the quarter. The throw-in. Vidovic can't find his man. Mendy comes out with the ball. The umpire says he will bounce.
Yeah, good decision that.
That line on the ground for the Sun Kick finals, which are a highlight of Grand Final Day.
North Melbourne 12-15-87, leading Richmond 4-9-33. It's Richmond's half-forward line. We're watching the action at the MCG. Liberatore getting the ball out, taken by and lost by Fitzpatrick. Hand pass coming away from Richard Chober. Gets it moving now. Mendy moves it out. Here's a chance for Pickering. Pickering in two minds as to what to do. Has a shot at goal, and once again Richmond can't find the goals.
But no matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call Australia. I still call Australia. I still call Australia home. From national.
Westpac makes managing your money a lot easier by giving you a one-card way to bank. For faster service in our branches, 24-hour access to handy banks right across Australia, and a handy way to pay for things you need and get your extra cash as well. A convenient way to shop or bank with just one card. You choose either a Westpac MasterCard or a Westpac card, because the card is the bank and the bank is Westpac.
Richmond continue to kick behinds, 4-11 to 12-15. They've kicked 9 behinds straight since scoring their last goal in the second quarter. Very, very disappointing from the team that finished on top of the ladder in the under-19s in season 1984. North Melbourne, the only team to give them trouble during the year. Beat them in the qualifying final, or I should say in the second semi-final. And now look as though they're going to beat them quite comfortably in the grand final. They're looking good. The crowd building up, and they've been treated to a good display by the North Melbourne team as Hanlon comes out.
I did do a great deal with it.
Now through German. He's better off the side of his boot, it seems. Over to Wright. Sade's kick. One behind only. 12-16 North Melbourne. At one stage, what, Jack, they were, what, about 10-6?
10 goals, 6 at half-time to Richmond's 4 goals, 2. That's after kicking 7-4 in the second quarter, but then they kicked 2 goals, 9 in the third term, but they're still holding on to a fairly comfortable lead.
I think you said at the time, and I think this sums it up, that North Melbourne were kicking their goals from point-blank range in that second quarter. The Richmond defence was so slack. Now they've been forced to have long bombs, haven't they?
Yes, Adamo's been coming right out of the half-forward zone, and he can't kick goals from out there, but we see North Melbourne moving it through Gayfer. The ball to be taken away and kicked by Maceman down to the half-forward zone, the attacking part of the ground for Richmond. Tressiter's there for North Melbourne, loses it to his teammate, and it's North Melbourne up toward Adamo. He's a long way out from goal again, but can't take the mark. This looks like Schultz coming through for Richmond, getting a hand pass down. Segler kicks it off the ground, tries to follow it through, had the strength to bump away the opposition, but North Melbourne now bringing the ball back through Crocker. His hand pass comes into Liberatore. This could be a goal for North Melbourne. 30 metres out from goal. Liberatore, no, he's off target also, and only one behind resulting. He just waited a little bit too long then, Steve, to take the shot. The fella closed the gap on him. He had to sort of then make a hurried kick toward goal. So 89 playing 35 in North Melbourne's favour. He's
very small, Anthony Liberatore. Do you think he might find it difficult moving on to the next step?
Yes, I think so. He's got a lot of ability. The little fellas have made good, you know. Some of them... well,
he's about the same size as Daryl Schimmelbusch.
Yes, well, Daryl did have a lot of trouble because of his lack of size and strength mainly, but Liberatore is a very clever player. Pickering moved the hand pass in. Richmond starting to move the ball again. North Melbourne defence standing firm, and once again the breakaway has been made there by Crocker on the half-back line. A long hand pass. 3 North Melbourne players here, taken by Michael Gayfer. He gives it out to Neil Fitzpatrick, who goes short into the half-forward flank. North starting to look a little bit fancy now, and Said loses that ball for North Melbourne. It's been taken away. Looks like Mendy fighting for possession down there, and the umpire said a boundary throw-in.
But I suppose in Liberatore's favour, Jack, the man who's been the senior coach at his club this year was always light on for size, wasn't he? Barry Cable. Never seemed to worry him.
Oh, no. It's one thing you have to have if you haven't much stature is to have a lot of ability and a lot of courage, and I think Liberatore fits that bill, but I don't know whether he will really make it to the big time. He may, I hope so for his sake. Peter German shoots toward goal and pops through another one.
Just as these 3 atoms become one molecule, so these 3 paints become the one solution to all the interior painting needs. Why 3? New vinyl for a great matte finish on walls. New satin is a semi-gloss. Tough enough for windows and doors. And new gloss for a genuine full gloss. And of course, they all wash out in H2O, and marks just wipe off. British Paints, the perfect formula for all your interior painting. Trust British Paints? Sure can.
Announcing the new Holden Astra.
Giving up CD bars and burn wheels at lights. I'm glad I'm civilized now. I'm glad I'm civilized now. Giving up platform shoes and Marxist Leninist blues. I'm glad I'm civilized now.
I think I'll enjoy more Australian views.
I'm glad I'm civilized now.
New Holden Astra, the civilized hatch.
Peter German has kicked 3 goals for North Melbourne. Stephen Adamo 6 and Robert Cockatoo 3. Robert Cockatoo is on the bench. Pardon, 4 interchange players. Yeah, German's had 1 million kicks. You might check that, Jack. How many possessions he's had?
Not quite 1 million, I know, but...
as Hanlon lines up.
Brian Hanlon with the ball. What's that, Michael? 24 kicks and 10 hand passes Peter German has had this afternoon, or this morning, I'm sorry, I keep saying that.
Well, Jack, you're just not used to being up this early. We're early risers down at Channel 7.
Oh, yeah, I'll go along with that. There's the shot at goal by North Melbourne on that occasion, Brian Hanlon, and he's popped it through for another goal. So North Melbourne have a stranglehold on it now. I will concede that point, Stephen, as North Melbourne now lead by 11 goals. Hanlon kicking his first goal. And what...
You must have been a hard coach at Coburg, Jack. But when they were 11 goals up at the 20-minute mark in the final quarter, you did concede that you had a chance?
Well, when they were 11 goals up in the final term, I wanted them to be 12. And I think that's the only way to approach it. I know that's what Dennis Pagan will be saying too. He'll be looking for more goals because you don't want players to start to get relaxing cocky. After you get cocky. Yeah, you can't stand it. Here's another good player, Fitzpatrick, getting it downfield again, and North Melbourne controlling the game. Peter German taking the mark within kicking distance, only 45 metres. Now, we did say before the breeze has swung, if we were taking notice of the flags on the masthead on the scoreboard, of course, and where they were going from the Richmond end down to the Jollymont end in the first term. They are now coming in from the other direction.
German comes in. He's kicked 3 goals.
Hit the post.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. He's far better on the run, being slung as he kicks it with his left foot over his head.
Tell you what, he's not a bad-looking player.
No, he's
only
a good
18
player.
years of age, 180 centimetres, and that is 6 foot. In the old language, 93 kilos, and comes from, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong fellow. 80 kilos. He comes from Oak Park. A very good player. They're all wrapped in him up around the Oak Park way. I play my golf up at Northern Golf Club, which is in that area, and a lot of fellows asked me today to keep an eye on
Well, you had
Peter
no
German.
choice, have you?
No.
He's been in the centre of the screen all morning. I've almost said it myself. Adamo, chance for goal number 7. That was a dummy lead, as Peter McKenna would say. He stood there like a dummy, and the ball just landed in his hands.
Peter McKenna, he's with us now too. Peter's going to do the reserves game, of course. There's not too many better full forwards in the game than Peter McKenna.
Well, let's have a look at Stephen Adamo's style as he comes in to kick goal number 7. He kicked 5 in the second quarter. Straight through, goal number 7 to Adamo.
The Nissan Grand Final Savings Marathon is on now, and the savings are unbelievable. Here's Lou.
Look at what these crazy Nissan dealers have done to the price of wagons. They've slashed $1,650 off Vanette SGLs, $1,400 off Prairies, and heaps off Urbans too. But you better hurry, these savings end with the bounce of the ball this Saturday.
Come alive, come and drive, Nissan.
73 points the difference, and Lazor Vidovic gets the free kick in the
good
middle.
kick.
Goes straight down the middle with the torpedo, looking for Adamo, who kicked his 7th goal. Bit of untidy play down there before the ball was pushed out by Maishman. Maishman over to a teammate. Poor play. That Liberatore put pressure on 3 of them. And coming out now is the skipper, Tressida. Tressida finds a teammate out there in Sade. Sade lines up. It's a good-looking kick, just straight through the middle.
Yes, another goal kicked by North Melbourne, so he kicks his first. Brian, you say Sade, I say Sed. Doesn't matter which.
You
I don't
said Sade before.
Oh, did I? It's only because I was copying you. North Melbourne 16-18, 1-1-4. Richmond 4-11, 35. I have conceded that North Melbourne will win the grand final of 84 in the under-19s, and what I'm looking forward to, Stephen, is to see some of these young players up in the North Melbourne reserves and possibly seniors next year. Vidovic on screen has done very, very well indeed.
Be interesting seeing most of them will appear on the Channel 7 Reserve Cup next year.
I noticed Vidovic uses the left hand in palming out too, which is a little bit John Nicholish. Darren Crocker got the ball moving upfield, and once again we see Adamo take another mark. So
was that a little bit of a nudge there? I wouldn't mind seeing that again.
Well,
It looked as though he gave him one fair in the back.
I mean, that he may have done. The umpire was very close to the scene and didn't.
Here we go. Let's have a look at it again, Jack. How did he fall over? Was that a little bit of a nudge with the right elbow?
No, I'd say that was a side push and the ball was within 5 metres, but I'd be dead right, Peter McKenna. Outside the 5 metres.
But
well,
he missed.
He missed, so it's only 1 behind. So Adamo now has kicked 3 behinds. He's also
7 goals.
7 goals, so he's done quite well. Richmond trailing 35 to 1-1-5. The time clock getting around toward the time on period. We're 24 minutes into the final term. The ball to the outer side of the ground, but the Richmond players still fighting back. They're still trying to get that ball working. Schultz moving the ball downfield now. A little fellow in full flight. Can't quite pick him up. I don't think I've seen him before. Getting the ball down toward Garn of Richmond. Socket off the ground by Pickering, but off the side of the boot and only out of bounds. He couldn't get a score at all.
Just approaching time on in the final quarter of the Under-19s Grand Final here at the MCG. North Melbourne absolutely annihilating Richmond. Have done since the second quarter. Goal coming up for the Tigers. Kicked straight through by Mark Johnson.
Well, not before time, would say.
No, first goal since the second quarter for the Tigers.
Yes.
And 5-11 they've kicked.
They had 3-2 on the board at quarter time, 4-2 at half time, and now they've kicked 5 goals, 11 for the game. So here's a replay of that one. As a young fellow, I said before, I couldn't quite pick him up as he brought the ball down from the wing, so he certainly made up good ground, Steve, to get the ball out.
Let's have a look at Vidovic here, Jack, and just see he's won nearly every knockout for the day. He's been the I almost think he's the best man on the ground. So at 38 hit-outs.
Well, we won't see him in this contest because the ball didn't favour him at all. Been tapped out, though, by North Melbourne. Thorogood, who's done quite well. North Melbourne trying to bring the ball forward. There's a chance now for another North Melbourne goal. Oh, it's in the back. It was a silly free kick to give away because the North Melbourne player in Hanlon had lost possession of the ball, and Mason of Richmond pushed him flat in the middle of the back, and Hanlon's going to go for his second goal now from only 40 metres out.
He was a bit stiff too because Hanlon had overrun the ball.
Well, it was a silly thing to do. He's pushed him flat in the middle of the back, and Mason
I think
really...
he thought he might have had the ball, do you think?
No, I don't think so, if he thought that he was blind. So Hanlon taking the shot toward goal, the umpire moving across. I think he may have... No, he's got it. I thought he may have missed it the way the umpire moved across there, but he's kicked his second goal, and you could call that one a very lucky or very silly piece of football as posed by the Richmond player. 80 points the difference in North Melbourne's favour. The time clock showing 26 minutes have gone in the 84 under-19s grand final. And
now let's have a look at this again. Now he pushes it along there.
Now look, you see that. That was quite silly, wasn't it?
Yes,
to do that?
It was silly because he automatically turned back. He knew where the ball was.
Had he pushed him in the side, it would have been legit, but he pushed him flat in the middle of the back, so the umpire had to award the free kick.
Vidovic going up in the centre, gets the tap down again with that left hand. Long hand pass out. Butts. And a long hand pass out to Pickering. Pickering now with the run on. Looks for the pass out wide. Too long. Been a feature of Richmond's kicking today.
North Melbourne defenders have done quite well when the ball's been anywhere near the boundary line. They've made sure they didn't bring the ball back into play and give Richmond any chance of getting a goal from it.
Jack, as the time clock gets closer to that final siren, maybe we could run through and just pick out some of the players you feel might go on and make the grade in league football in the next couple of years.
Just prior to that Richmond goal, yeah, so that will do. That was another Richmond goal, but they'll have to kick a lot in the next minute or so to take this game out, of course, but they won't be able to do that. Well, looking for the North Melbourne side, Adamo, here's a replay of that shot. The ball bouncing through, just beating the North Melbourne defender. Got his hand to it very close to the line, and the umpire has ruled the ball was over the line before touched, so he's awarded that goal to Richmond. So Richmond now 6-11-47 to 17-19, 1-2-1. Going through the North Melbourne team, they have a lot of promising players on today's game, but it makes you wonder if they are as good as they appear because they haven't had a lot of opposition. Stephen Adamo has done well. Vidovic, your big raps for. This fellow too, with the ball at present, Brown, he's played quite well. Could have been a free kick Richmond's way there. But going down the list, Peter German, we spoke of him many times. Darren Tressiter's done very well. Big fellow with the ball, just moved in.
Cockatoo played just one quarter.
Yeah, Cockatoo played a quarter, but what he did very well. He's only 17 years of age, so you must give him a future in football. I think he's going to thicken up a little bit. Going down, Butts just done quite well. But North Melbourne have got some very good players. That Hanlon's done very well indeed, and Fitzpatrick I mentioned before, I think. Liberatore. North Melbourne seem to have a great wealth of young talent coming up for the next 4 or 5 years or even more, because these players, of course, in the under-19, so they have a great future in front of them. North have got some very tall players out there too, and I
think this was one of their assets as Richmond go forward. They had a few players who are 6'4", 6'5", which makes all the difference. And I think Segler at centre-half back, I was impressed with him.
He looks a bit slow to me.
Here comes a free kick now for the Tigers, and it'll be Peter Burke. He's only 30 metres out. Chance to just add some respectability to the score. The tackle was a good one. Caught his opponent, pulled him to the ground, and now we see Peter Burke from Mitcham line up for Richmond's 7th goal. And his first, Burke's kick, straight through the middle, right on the siren. And Richmond 7-11, 53 have gone down to North Melbourne. A very fine North Melbourne effort, 17-19, 121. And boys swapping Guernseys. Going off, and they'll really enjoy the thought of playing in a premiership, for most of them their first premiership, on the MCG.
There's the North Melbourne players now, very elated as having taken out the 84 grand final. On screen you see Anthony Liberatore. He's going to partake of some refreshment by the looks of things.
I wonder how the clubs feel about them swapping their Guernseys at about $45 a Guernsey.
Oh, well, I suppose once you've won a grand final, no one seems to mind.
Young Liberatore coming off, played a very good game.
Very strong, isn't he? Very strong-looking player, Liberatore. No, someone doesn't want to swap Guernseys there. His opposition didn't want to swap Guernseys, but they're Ricky Jackson and Liberatore having a few words to say, and being congratulated there is Anthony Liberatore. He's certainly done well. He looks very stocky. I don't know just how much pace. You can't really assess all these players on one game of football,
Well,
Steve.
for example, German, we saw him play an outstanding game, Peter German. He's had 25 kicks, he's had 10 hand passes, he's kicked, 3 goals, and yet early on in the first quarter, you would have thought that he was, his performance was mediocre with his kicking.
Well, I said early in the game, his first 3 passes into the forward line went to the opposition, but they weren't bad kicks. They were just ill-directed kicks. They were still long kicks. They were good kicks, but they went to the wrong fellows. Dennis Pagan on screen with some of his players there. But going down here, I see that Adamo's had 13 kicks at full forward for his goals, and his goal tally was, what, 7?
Yes.
So he's had a very good game.
7-3, I think.
7-3 it is, on my tally anyhow.
Yeah. And he did all his good work in the first 2 quarters. He had 12 kicks going into half-time, and he only had 3 kicks in the second half, which is a big rap for Gavin Hayes, who was moved onto him by coach Doug Searle. And if we can find his statistics, Bays had 3 or 4 kicks. Doug Wade down there on the ground. He's
Robert Cocker
giving the boys a bit of a tap along, and of course Doug Wade, one of 2 men in league football history to kick 1,000 goals. And he kicked 100 with Geelong and 100 with North Melbourne in a season.
Well, you were impressed so was I, with Vidovic. He's only had 10 kicks for the game.
12 kicks.
12 kicks, but he's controlled the ruck duel for the centre bounce and did quite well. He's rather agile and fairly mobile for a fellow his size. But the players I want to speak of now, Peter German, I thought was North Melbourne's best player. I thought he was very, very
I
good
agree
indeed.
with you. I think that for sheer effectiveness, German, Vidovic,
Tressida did well.
And our other little fellow, Liberatori, around the ground. I know he did most of his work in the second half, but he burrowed in, he kept tapping the ball out of the centre and was making some advantage from Vidovic's fine ruck.
Crocker did well too for North Melbourne. Let's go into the Richmond team now. They haven't had a lot to bless themselves with the day, but their biggest kick getter by the looks of things was Jackson. He's had 11 kicks. Hand passes only tallying to 2.
Well, Hogarth had a lot of hand passes. What did he have there, Jack? He had 11 hand passes and 8 kicks, so he's had 19 possessions. Apart from that, they lacked the height, the marking power of North Melbourne. They lacked directness, and their kicking was so poor early on.
Well, the whole point, they weren't getting the ball very up. That's the whole trouble. Now, Bayers, as you said, when he went back to the full-back position, did quite well. Cumming didn't do a bad job for Richmond. Mentioned Jackson, I think, before. He's done quite well. But when you look at the tallies of kicks that the Richmond players have had, it's very disappointing, and that's the reason the score shows on the board as it does, 121 to 53.
Well, I'm going to go so far, Jack, as to predict a big future for Vidovic. I think that he, next year, will be playing in the Reserve Cup, and he's a big, strong boy, and he's had a premiership under his belt, and it can't do you anything but good. The final scores here in the Under-19 Grand Final. North Melbourne 17-19, 121 have been far too good for Richmond. 7-11, 53. Adamo kicking 7 for North, with Robert Cockatoo and Peter German kicking 3 apiece. So Jack Edwards and Stephen Phillips signing off from the Under-19s. We'll see you later in the day.